You don't have to travel all the way to Los Angeles to join your fellow league fans and cheer on your favorite LCS teams. Head over to lolesports.com to find a viewing party taking place in your city, a city near you, for upcoming playoff quarterfinal and finals. Easy to say, right? Let's get into the action. Let's get back into it with Counter Logic Gaming versus Team 8. Right now, Team 8 are masters of their own destiny. They can close the window on Cloud9 to steal away 7th place with a win right here.
And they would like nothing more than to sew up their spot in the 2016 NA LCS Spring Split. They've definitely got their work cut out for them because CLG have the strongest early game. And yesterday, we saw Team 8 get outclassed in the laning phase against Team Liquid. So they're up against another top team. They have to shore up that weakness. And another thing to watch out for in this match besides that is Nien. He's been split pushing away from his team and farming lanes when big objectives are being contested. This is a big problem from Team 8 because he's the shot caller now. If you are on the opposite side of an objective, you're pretty much going to give it up, no problem. And when he came back into the LCS, Nien said he was anxious to take down Doublelift, and this is his last shot at doing that this year.
Well, if he's going to take down Doublelift, he's trying to play like Doublelift now. Just farm the side lanes.
Become your enemy.
Yeah, you got to become your enemy if you're going to beat him. Meanwhile, CLG are on a 5-game winning streak and have a chance to get out front as a clubhouse leader right now and grab one of the first 2-round buys, which is going to feel pretty good for any team.
Yeah, one of CLG's strengths lately has been their champ select, but they haven't been varying it too much. Zion Spartan is able to completely shift the dynamic of the team composition with whatever top laner he locks in for himself. They've been favoring carry top laners and giving him a lot of resources. But CLG, they haven't shown a ton of variation in their play, like I said, but they're showing depth in those types of picks. If you ban away the top lane Fizz, he's going for the Olaf. He's going for something else that can carry. So they're able to still execute the same type of strategy, just a little bit different.
Yep, really going the uphill now of the slump they said they were taking in the middle of the season. It really counts that it happened early for them, I guess. I thought that was all just kind of a ruse, but I guess there really is a slump for them that they always hit, and they're coming out of it. Aframu also says CLG are focused on improving their game and have even brought in some outside voices to help.
This game that we're going to play against Team 8, definitely just going to strive to be on the same track of improvement that we're already on, and we're doing really well, especially with our sports psych coming into the house this week. It definitely helped, change my mentality, and I think as well our teammates' mentality. I can see them, act a little differently, do things a little better, more efficiently, and stuff like that. So it's really good.
A team psychologist.
New things.
That's awesome.
That helps. It's better than a cinder block. Absolutely.
It gets paid more than a cinder block.
It does, absolutely.
It requires more resources.
Let's check out the starting lineups and see if that psychologist helped any. On the blue side, it's Counter Logic Gaming with a different mindset. Zion Spartan in the top, Xmithy in the jungle, Pobelter in mid, Doublelift at 80 carry, and Aframu at support with Coach 6law.
And on the red side, it's Team 8. Cali Trolls in the top lane, Porpoise in the jungle, Golden Glue in mid, Nien at 80 carry, Dodo on support, and of course, their coach, history teacher.
That is true. Bringing out the history, hopefully repeating a bit of history here. Team 8 had some good games on the second half of the summer split. The first half, a few more losses than not. So hopefully they can start to build up that momentum. They've been showing pretty good games, but falling apart when they get to the fights, when they get to the objectives.
Well, if they're repeating history, they would be locked in at that 7th place spot again.
That's
true. Making it so they miss playoffs, but they also don't have to go to relegations.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because when Cali Trolls this time last year was in the promotion tournament to get Team 8 into the LCS, he didn't know if he was going to play or not. He was talking about going to pharmacy school, that was where he wanted to go. And after this LCS split, he got that year off, and that's where he'll be going after everything's all said and done. So this may be his last game on the LCS stage as an LCS pro player.
He doesn't want to leave the team in a bad situation, though. There's still that kind of, I have been here since the beginning. This is my child since infancy, and I want to see it to the end. So he may still play in that other one to get the team back in if they
do fall down to relegation. Because when I talked to Cali Trolls, what he said pretty much verbatim last year was, I'll play in promotion tournament. I want to leave Team 8 with them secured in the LCS.
Yeah.
And if he can get them 7th place here, he accomplishes his goal 1 year later of leaving the team with them still in the LCS.
That would be huge for him. A really clean path to kind of exit on as well, feeling good for the team, especially kind of repairing a few of the things that have also kind of hindered the team this year when he was going a little too hard in the beginning. The communication didn't seem to be there. For him to be able to patch those things up and leave on a great note, I'm sure would be the best opportunity for him.
And I know he wasn't feeling the best. He wasn't feeling the best yesterday. Didn't get the right summoner spell that he wanted.
Also a lot of pressure to put on yourself.
Yep, it is. It's a lot of pressure. Even just taking a step back, being on that stage is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can barely play with somebody over my shoulder.
The players, that come back still feel pressure. ManCloud's been on that stage for multiple seasons and still coming back to play some sub games this year for TDK. There's still nerves on the stage every single time. They're going to feel that. It's not the same environment, and the crowd is behind you as well, and you want to be able to please that crowd. You want to be able to please your team, and you just want to be able to get the victory and get that smile. We're going to be into picks and bans here. Our second game of the day, CLG versus Team 8. These guys are sitting right now 12-5, Team 8 6-11.
Team 8, they want to have, it's not that glorious, but they want to have to not go to relegations and get that 7th place spot so they can have some time off, they can continue to practice, they can work on who's going to replace Cali Trolls in the top lane if they do go with that path and he doesn't end up going to pharmacy school, which he most likely will. But they want that time off. They want that time to think, try out. And CLG, on the other hand, they want first place. They're in that tie, and CLG has never finished a regular season above 3rd place. They have never had a first round bye. And if Golden Age is true,
first place, first time,
then you would see some improvement, because they've gotten 3rd place twice.
Yeah.
And then they've ended up losing in the quarterfinals. They didn't even make it to semis, and a first round bye might get them past that semifinal curse.
It's always an unknown when they enter into the best of 5, so it'll seem very good for a few games, and then it's an unknown. You do not know what is going to happen. Such a toss-up when CLG gets into those long games. See how it goes now. They've been playing very, very strong. Xmithy has been shoring up the jungle very nicely and coming out with strong plays to help catapult the rest of the lanes right off the bat. And CLG's early game, back to swapping the lanes, getting an advantage by a few hundred gold there, and then being able to control the rest of the map has really been their forte. Like you said, it helps a lot to have Zion on a whole bunch of different champions.
Yeah, and they didn't ban a whole lot of them out. They just got Ryze out of there. Curious ban onto Nidalee because Porpoise has only played it one time the entire season, and that was against Gravity, where I assumed they were just taking it away from Move. It was going to force Porpoise onto Rek'Sai or Evelynn with the Gragas first pick, but there's 380 carry bans.
Yeah.
So people are going to be falling back onto Jinx.
I feel like a Jinx is going to be
Corki,
in here.
Possibly a Graves, but I'm feeling those two right now from these two players.
With the way the CLG's been playing, for them to ban the Trist, they don't want Neon taking down turrets faster than Doublelift is, so that might be a jinx for their side. Kench being hovered over on the side of Team 8. Kench on the bench, though. Nobody's bellied him yet here in the NA LCS. Only Freddy gave him love over in Europe, and CLG has already grabbed their jungler, so not necessarily needing to grab that on the side of Team 8. It's going to be the Corki and the Alistar.
Yep. Good picks here, especially with 380 carries banned away. And immediately, all right, you have to draft some hard engage here now on Team 8 side because they have the best disengaged jungler that's meta. You have the best disengaged support. And it looks like it's going to be an AP Ezreal mid, possibly for Doublelift, though. We'll see what happens here. But you do have to start thinking about getting engage alongside your Alistar. But I mean, Cali...
I feel like Golden Glue's played Veigar in the past. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Cali, when you force him onto something like Maokai, those are where he has those wishy-washy performances, but they've won 2 games with Maokai in the second half of the split.
Those are the all-ins where everybody has to be on board with Cali. Those were then when he played the Scion games where you have to be on board with Cali. When he twisted advances in, it's good to have that Alistar now, so I think they should be all right there, as long as they whittle them down, apparently, it seems, with what they're about to lock in. All right, so they go to Rek'Sai. Okay. They do get the Jace.
So they're going to match Poke with Poke.
Yeah.
And now CLG has to either draft something that's going to give them engage, or they just match the Poke and go with more Poke, and it just ends up being an archery battle.
I like it. Maybe the analyst desk can join. They were skeet shooting earlier as well. Taking all the shots. Doublelift, what will he decide to go for? Could have that Ezreal flexed into his hands.
I don't know if a shotgun would be great in a Poke war.
Yeah? I don't know. Unless maybe if you're using slugs, but it's still not going to go very far.
Yeah.
That is his. Doublelift takes the Ezreal. Olaf again for the top lane, and Pole Belter's going to have little bit of global pressure here with the Twisted Fate pick coming in for their final game of the season.
This is really cool because CLG, they drafted a really good jungler, really good support, and then that's not an AP Ezreal mid, it's an AD carry Ezreal, like you said, for double lift, and then they draft two things that run at your face, get to your backline, and kill your pokers. So CLG pivoting at the last second and drafting, since that Jace is pretty much going mid unless it's a top lane Cali Trolls off the wall pick, but the Twisted Fate can get to the Jace, the Olaf can get to the Jace.
Yeah.
You can't headbutt him back. You don't have really walls to stop him or anything to stop that guy from getting in there. So Zion's going to have a really good time with flanks here, alongside Pobelter being his dive buddy.
Yeah. Jace can rush you down, but a good way to kill Jace is rush him down. And that's exactly what Counter Logic Gaming can do, especially being able to run through this crowd control. It looks like they're still going to add more. The switch to the Rumble, giving Cali Trolls a bit of carry potential from that top lane as well. And a lot of damage coming from this team. See if teammate uses it early. CLG, like we said, that global presence, level 6, is going to be very big for them. See if they can start using those advantages.
I'm assuming this is more for the lane, where Cali Trolls can have a good lane against the Olaf, try to trade back and forth, and then show up for some team fights, but he's not playing a dive champion. They're going pretty much all in on the strategy of we'll poke, we'll poke, we'll poke, and then when they engage on us, we have some counter engage. We have something that blows them up, that whittles them down. So a lot of good team fight here from teammate, following up after the poke war.
All the ties today, Zyrene. There'll be quite a few. Right now, locked in a first place tie is Counter Logic Gaming, Gravity, Tip, and TL. Gonna catapult themselves into a sole control first here for just a few games.
The sole control of first place for about half a game. I think that's the term that they use.
Half a game, that's right.
Half a game.
That would be used. I always say that, and I'm like, really?
Half a game?
Half a game?
Can you really play just half a game?
I don't know. Everybody leave. They do in scrims. The teams have locked in their champs, and we're about to hit the rift, so start sharing your votes. Send hashtag CLG win or hashtag T8win to @LOL Esports, and we'll tally those up as we get into game. Our second game here, the final day of the regular season for the North American Summer Split. We still got some tiebreakers, so don't go anywhere after the end of the day. We'll have a few. Those are going to be awesome games. These ones as well, going to deliver CLG versus Team 8. Now on to the Rift.
And they first picked that Gragas for Smithy. And in his last second half of the split, he's played Gragas 6 times. And he's only lost once on it. Yep,
the last 7 games. Not too bad.
Welcome to Summer.
See if he can make this another one. Well, I guess this will be 8 now that he brings it into to count it.
Yeah, 8 out of the... Well, he played a Nautilus and Evelyn, so 7 out of the
Trying to change 9. It up. Why not? Yep. Figure out where the slump was, and then they pulled themselves out of it. Oh, hello. Good day. I say good day, sir.
I said good day!
Wow. He's got a toboggan himself right out. Oh, my word! What is happening in the top lane? No way! Man. Holy moly! Woo!
Gets the flash level 1. That is a huge PowerPoint. He's still going though. He's got Ghost. He's gonna keep going.
Oh, sweet.
He's gonna keep going.
Sassy Molassie. Oh my God! First blood, 1 minute and 13, completely soloed out. I can't even. This kills the Rumble.
This kills the Rumble.
This kills the Rumble. Wow. That's gonna make things a little bit more tough.
Oh, he comes back with a longsword. That kills people, Riv.
Even more so. The potential is real, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so that's pretty golden age, starting off nice and shiny.
But this is why putting CLG back on a top lane carry for Zion Spartan is such a big deal. This guy knows how to take over a game in the top lane. They had a point where they didn't have him on it. When they hit that slump, that 4-game losing streak, he was on Gnar, Rumble, Rumble, but then they put Fizz, Kennen, Olaf.
Oh, that Kennen thing.
Just get away from the meta a little bit, and just do you, Zion Spartan.
It's also, we see this happen. I guess it was a long time ago at regionals, but somebody would kind of pull out a pick that you see sometimes, but in a professional matchup, you really don't know what the aggression's going to be, that level spike, what they're going to hit, what's this 1v1 going to do. Zion's been using a lot of that to his advantage with these little picks. Same thing with Fnatic. They've been doing it with their picks as well.
It's true.
Taking things that people don't see often does make it hard to play against.
And that's what you want to do.
As long as you can play it.
Remember the rule of thumb, when you don't know how to play against something in competitive play, just lane swap it. Get him out of there.
Why not?
They lane swap it to the other side. Nien gets himself a free farm lane that Nien likes to have.
Right.
But now double lift Afromu with the Janna immediately pushing down the bot lane turret. Trying to get an advantage there. He's not on the Trist, but he still has the turret in his sight. CLG take turrets extremely early and try to get a gold advantage off of that. It also pressures the enemy to make the same move as you and mirror you on the opposite side of the map.
Right. The gentleman's agreement. Not even an agreement. You have to. You're kind of forced to at this point.
One person does it, you both have to do it.
All right, so the switch is flipped. We're going to get these turrets to get dropped down. Dragon pressure actually as well coming in. So that will be nice stats. Not too much right now for CLG, but the control, the timer, things to keep pressuring on to Team 8. Already a 400 gold lead here.
Because of the fact that Afromu and Double Lift shoved the lane up so quickly, they got priority on the turret, they got more damage on it early. It requires 3 people from Team 8 to actually match the damage, so they just bring their jungler and their top laner to go ahead and take a dragon. So early dragon for CLG. CLG haven't even taken the turret yet, and they have only 200 gold less than Team 8. That's the first blood, and that's the CS falling into their hands. You can see Double Lift has way more CS than Nien.
That worked out pretty well. See teammate a little more struck to just get the turret down and match it, while Double Lift had the time to farm that CS all the way up to the turret. Still has time to hang out here, even might get another wave ahead if he decides to keep it. Not too much vision though, except for what's in the lane. So he's got to leave for no safety in the river. 5 minutes coming up on the clock. Things are looking pretty quiet in the mid lane on the home front. Looks like Pobelter's just going to stay back and keep getting out blue cards to keep his mana pool up.
Yep. He's also got that Twisted Fate passive, so he'll have a little bit of an inflated gold.
That's true.
Up against Golden Blue. He has,
even with that lead,
he has potions in his inventory as well. So
he's not even getting pressured to use those either.
Yeah, he's gotten the 3 potions out of the longsword start from Golden Blue, I believe. Yes, he has. Cool.
So wild cards might be tagging, getting what they need. You can see Double Lift just wants to kind of go into farm mode here. Not too much damage with his first buy. It's going to be Phage pieces for the end as Double Lift looks to stack that tier up right away on his first. To the top side, Afromu is going to start his roam. His presence here doesn't seem to be doing too much. There's the rush down from Golden Glue. He does use the hammer to knock him away. A good flash from Pobelter to dodge Dodo's headbutt coming in there. Nice job on both sides. Very hectic it seems up here. Porpoise is back and forth, is still able to grab a bit of his jungle.
Oh, Zion.
Oh, Zion indeed. A great choice.
Ghost just popped.
Great choice by Nien to get away from the undertow, get himself into a safe spot. Has to flash though. That's Zion blowing 2 flashes by himself here in the first 6 minutes of the game. CaliTrolls has actually just come back up from that first engage we saw in lane. So he is really creating a lot of pressure by himself.
And this creates gank opportunities in these lanes. Nien is very gankable now, but at all times Zion Spartan is somebody that you could actually put some pressure on. But Porpoise has been giving attention to CaliTrolls in the top lane.
They're going to try. He already has the coverage to know he might get engaged on, but a 2v1 shouldn't be anything that he's sweating at the moment. And another try here from Dodo, blowing that flashes down. And seems like a sixth sense here from Pobelter. He backs up to place some wards in to make sure he's safe as well.
Well, also, he's level 6, so he's making sure that they don't have vision of him when he's looking for a gank. He's looking for Nien.
He's looking for the Valkyrie as well. He knows he could just go right over the wall there. But good call on that roam down, looking for the play for sure. Even with the summoner spells down. I want to try to get this kill in. And not a lot of coverage in that river. They'd be diving into a lot of Fog of War if they tried to do this. But the Twisted Fate ult would be kind of the kicker.
Nope, Zion doesn't have Ghost.
No
Get
ultimate.
some damage on him. We'll see what happens.
Should be good. No worries.
This Pobe, though. He's coming in.
There's the TP as well, right into the Tri-Brush. That's going to be CaliTrolls. No ultimate for him.
But that leaves top lane open, and they're going to get this top lane turret.
CaliTrolls is at 6. I thought that was going to be an equalizer no matter what under the turret. They're kind of left here now. That's going to be a back. They both get out of that situation. And now they're going to have to at least take down this turret if they want to get something.
It doesn't have equalizer. It's level 5.
Yep.
Oh.
That makes that a very tough situation.
Just these little trades that CLG are outplaying. A Twisted Fate ultimate for a teleport, I would take that any day of the week. It's only a 2-minute cooldown versus the 5-minute cooldown because it was used on a ward.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was not to a turret. Can't be, obviously, when you're trying to engage like that.
It's future play.
Keep a track on that, right? What is it going to cost, or what will it provide? CLG will get themselves into a tight situation. The teammate can still handle. Zion Spartan here, looks like they're closing in.
He's stalling them because Double Lift is clearing waves top with his ultimate and making sure that he can get this turret. This turret's going down, though. What's going to happen here?
I don't see very many ultimates, and no level 6s actually on the bottom side of the map. Not really enough to finalize more than just Zion Spartan in that back and forth, but Doublelift is having a field day in the top lane right now. Something we said Yen was doing a bit of, but he can't kind of copy Doublelift if CLG's winning the game right now.
Well, they're also allowing Doublelift to do this. This is a big plan.
Right.
Swap him into the lane, push the turret quickly. TP coming from behind. They know Kali doesn't have his. He has his flash now, and he doesn't even have an equalizer yet.
Oh, very far up. Still goes for the flash knowing you're going down. Valiant attempt for the kill, but could have saved the summoner spell for sure on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually saw Kali Trolls before he flashed, or saw Zion Spartan before he flashed, because it just looked like he was trying to escape that gank.
True. True. It's always easier to say it because we can see the entire map.
Yeah. He flashed right as he saw him.
He was over the wall. How
did
you see that?
Too much. That ward in a really good spot.
What we were talking about earlier as well, back to Doublelift, is that the team now with these Zion picks is actually, that creates so much pressure. They're putting Zion on things that make the other team focus them, so Doublelift can go wander off and do what he wants.
That was something that when they were in that slump, it was all about protect Doublelift comp. They were running Jinx, they were running these types of champions like Callista, Graves, or sorry, not Callista, Graves. They were running Jinx, Sivir.
Oh boy, it's good. We're good.
Looking at the wrong team, sorry. Yeah, they're running Jinx, they're running these things where they had to protect Doublelift, and then all you had to do was that gravity game where Shen just runs through your team, taunts the one person who's going to deal damage to your team.
Yeah.
Now you have multiple threats. You get Pole Belter off of Lulu, you get Doublelift onto anything, but you put Zion Spartan onto something that's going to cause pressure, and this is how they take over the map. 1,000 gold lead, very systematic, equal in turrets, but they have CS advantages on their AD carry and their top laner. And Pole Belter is actually even in gold because of the fact that he has that passive.
Yep.
He's actually a little bit ahead. Slightly ahead.
That's exactly when they slumped, was the Lulu plays, trying to protect Doublelift, where the team, when they started, said, Pole Belter's that guy that can bring damage to the table, so why put him on Lulu? I mean, like, you see Ryu carry on it, get some kills, quadra kills and whatnot, but it's not going to happen for every Lulu. You know, put him on something that can carry. Like this TF, oh, unfortunate, he already had that card pulled. Walk right out.
And when they first brought Pole Belter onto the team, it was, we liked that we knew we had damage that was going to show up to the team fight. Put him on a damage champion. And then you'll definitely have damage that shows up to the team fight. And CLG, we had that thing that Doublelift was talking about yesterday, where they're really only losing to themselves. They don't consider themselves losing to top teams. They just feel like they outdraft themselves, they outthink themselves.
Of course, that sounds better.
Of course it does. Then you bring in a psychologist to help you stop beating yourself.
It's the little things.
Get through that block.
It's been the little things for a lot of teams. The mentality can shift with just a person added to the team, above and high to Cloud9, and they showed a lot of progression instantly. It's all about that mentality you're approaching the game with. Sports psychologist really gives these guys the edge they need. It seems like it's been paying off, especially Zion in the top lane. Whether or not psychologist, he has just been playing very well towards the end of the split and has really always been a reliable guy once you give him that opportunity.
Yep.
He's up to the Phage and a Kindle Gem right now, so he can keep that speed up, synergy, slow down, a little bit of cooldown, so very nice recipe that he's got himself started. That rush right now for Kali Trolls, trying to get that Leandrews out. Missed Shock Blast there by Golden Blue. Pole Belter cleans up these waves. A little bit of a lead by Golden here in the mid, but he's been pushing Belter back.
Yeah, and we talked about the Phage build. Black Cleaver first for Olaf. Cooldown reduction for picking up the axes puts you at a really good point where you just pick it up, throw it again, pick it up, throw it again, because you have enough and you don't have that overlap of those seconds, or that gap of seconds between throwing axes. even though nobody on this team on Team 8 is going to stack armor, it's still a really good buy because the Q landing and physical damage also gives you the movement speed of Black Cleaver. So the Olaf chase down potential, like you were saying, it just goes through the roof with that. And that's all he wants to do, is true damage, destroy who's ever in the lane against him. Zion Spartan's probably going to be left on an island, but he's going to keep bringing different people onto the island with him.
Yep.
Right now it's Nian. He's got Ghost.
Oh, he's hatching that ward. He's going to sprout 2 wards soon.
Callie's coming up to him, though. Visitors on the island?
When things take too long and there's a lot of fog of war, you got to consider you're the guy who is actually in the bad spot by that point. There's going to be the hit. There's the ultimate trigger just in time. I was waiting to see that all game. That's got to be so frustrating for Dodo.
And like I said, you can't headbutt him, knock him away.
Nope.
It's a great pick that they picked in their 4-5 slot of champion select. After they had seen the Alistar and they saw the Jace, they knew what they were getting into. This Olaf was just going to be able to be untouched.
So much control. Last time we saw like Olaf play in the LCS was Voyboy going crazy on people. It's been a really long time. And then EU brings it out. We see it in some other places. Now Zion Spartan has it in the top lane. Viking is coming back for sure.
People say he got Olaf'd, but it doesn't look that way right now.
Nope.
Looks like you can still make him work. Be a little creative.
Oh, Dodo slowed here. Could be the catch up. There's going to be the follow through. Flash over the wall from him. Looks like he may be able to squeeze out. He does have to cut over the edge of the wall, though. This mid turret still looking to go down. CLG's getting actually pretty crazy, going very deep into the jungle with that mid turret being up here. You see teammate still has a good bit of defense to push back with. Ooh, good dodge. All right, so that Black Cleaver is finished up, Zyrene. Good power coming from Zion Spartan. Now, if they want to even go onto these turrets is an option. They just have to all be there at the same time.
He's coming right to middle, so is Pobelter. It looks like they're looking for conflict right now. They might have him rush up the gut and go straight for a play. They want to siege this turret. Zion's actually going to cut towards the top lane now. And just go back to split pushing patterns. I like this. He has his TP up. You shouldn't have to have him run up the gut to do that. Just get some wards down on the sides.
It's not going to be just Cali Trolls that stops him, so they're going to have to call up more people.
Yeah, and Cali can't farm this wave either. And this is a big wave that's actually pushing towards Zion Spartan. So if Zion wants to freeze, he has that option. If Zion wants to TP down, he has that one. If he wants to go dual Cali Trolls, he can go do that too. And it looks like he chunked him out a bit too. Half HP for Cali.
Still a good bit of clear on the waves here by Nian. Golden Glue being able to stay in the mid lane and stop CLG from taking down this mid turret, but teammates not getting really any pressure on mid themselves once they walk up to CLG's side. Also trying to put a few too many pink wards forward, lose control on that one, but they still try to keep fishing. You can see both sides are actually pinked out. They're really trying to control this area and get something back.
It's that poke war. It's the war of attrition there. Rudy going back and forth. Zion Spartan. Is he going to be able to get that? Just shoves the wave up top, checks the buffs, and prepares himself for a possible fight. Has twice the CS of Cali Trolls in the top lane.
Yep. Sight zone very fast here for Porpoise to keep wards.
Oh, he's hurting him right to Zion.
Oh, he has to flash. Ragnarok used, and he backs out. The gate giving a Jace just a bit too much speed, and another minion wave fizzles out in front of the turret. Now Sheens from both Pobelter and Doublet able to help take down those turrets. Shouldn't be too long for that one to stay up. 3 seconds on a dragon, so whatever fight comes from this will probably head right down to that. It actually looks like Smithy is trying to get his hands on it already. Cali Trolls is going to find him, so we may see everybody peel off the turret.
Cali, though, he's alone. He doesn't have anybody who can help and even get to him. And all these pink wards in this area is littered with pink wards from CLG. They're in an okay spot to actually fight this.
I'm looking for the Golden Glue poke. Where is it coming from? He's always been so close to the team when he fires these off, instead of standing a little bit back in the fog of war, hitting that range, and then able to whittle the team down. You got a Corden, you got a Jace. We haven't seen any of that poke coming out yet. So they back off once again. CLG feels like that opportunity is somewhat fizzled out. It's going to turn into Dragon at some point. Go ahead and get prepared for that. Teammate's going to grab control of it. Zion Spartan in the top lane, however. TP is up, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and just concede this one for the pressure.
I like that. When looking at the items and the spikes of these two champions against each other, mid lane and AD carry. Corki and Jace, yeah, you'll probably want to seed it to a Corki that has Dragon Force already.
For sure.
And this Jace that has Brutalizer, and he's ready to start poking. And you do allow Zion Spartan to continue to shove his top lane, though. He's going to get it.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, he's got
Free
this.
turret.
He's got it.
Well, not free. They gave up that dragon, obviously. Nothing's free. So a nice hit towards the top side, somewhere they don't have to continue to pressure. Zion Spartan now gets the ability to go somewhere else, start to spread teammate thin, and create a little bit of trouble in a different area. Blue buff transferred over. Looking at summoner spells right now for how crazy this next fight could be. Really only flash down for Golden Glue and Dodo right now in that last Raptor engage.
Zion's really the whole catalyst of this entire game. He's blowing people's flashes. He's running up to them. He's been able to duel almost anybody in this game at this point with Black Cleaver Hexdrinker.
I like the Hexdrinker. Very nice.
A large amount of CS. Keeping his TP for the pivotal play, waiting for it.
It's like if he wants to just kind of fight Cali Trolls on the Equalizer for a second, he can.
He's coming in from the side
Stay
here.
in that flame. Ooh, Pole Belter pitching himself to the wall. Quickly gets out. Too much of a tell there if you're playing against the poke composition. Try not to walk near objects. There's that poke. Getting a little bit out. Hopefully can start to stick. Obviously, Xmithy's going to get a bit of his passive to help him out. Need to see more of that. DN starting to fire his off as well. 4,000 gold down. Teammate very weary of taking any fights here in the mid lane. The ability to disengage from CLG as well on just Dodo going in is super simple. It's the Howling Gale or the Cask if he's not there.
Nice little steal, but is he going to pay for it? Yes, he is.
Oh, wow. The ability to collapse right there.
Oh.
Huge.
And it goes over to Zion.
Where did he come from?
I think that's what they're saying, too.
He was already on the bot side of the map. He didn't even teleport to get down here. He was just hanging out ready for the party.
He's everywhere.
He's a bro. He's going to be there for you.
He's got every kill on the team. That gives them mid-turret.
He does. That's crazy.
And they get priority on this mid lane.
He's
They
got
get to
every
get some damage
kill
on it, too.
and death, actually. Oh.
Nice equalizer, but it's only for disengage at this point.
That's
They're
the
trying
poke
to chase down.
They need to be able to follow up on. There's every kill on the team. Going to be a shutdown now if they can get it. Dodges out. Zion Spartan. Hexdrinker comes up. He throws on the Ragnarok. He starts going crazy. Golden Glue is able to cap off Pole Belter. Zion's fighting. Tries to get the shots in to get the lifesteal, but cannot do it. And it looks like they're going to trade 2 for 2 here with a minion wave coming in favor of Counter Logic Gaming.
They do have a little bit more HP here, and they have a very healthy engager.
Yep, minion wave in the bot lane too that's going to have to be taken into consideration by Team 8 as they push off mid lane. It looks like CLG is going to have to give this one up with the low HP bars here.
Large minion wave in the top lane that you want to pick up for yourself. Don't let that hit the turret. You can see Double Lift wants to head there as fast as possible. Pings it. Nobody take this from me.
Yeah, it's mine. The Double Lift with that fast Mana Moon got himself to her mana very quickly with that auto attack charge up. See this fight one more time. It's pretty hectic to start.
It splits off on both sides, but CLG, Zion really wants to fight this and turn it
Nice
at
shot
any
blast.
possible opportunity. Double Lift is out of this fight. He just gets the throw Qs in, and then it's time to turn. Pole Belter doesn't get the gold card off immediately. He gets it on Nian, who's still relatively in the back line, but Afromu with the ultimate, the flash ulti, little bit late there. Wasn't able to save Pole Belter.
Yep.
Ooh, but CLG did this yesterday. They kept making Dignitas engage into them, and then they would turn it around. So I'm assuming CLG's team compositions and their team comms are about, let's wait, turn on them after they use some cooldowns. The Rumble ulti's gone, get off of it, reposition, don't fight on it, and now is the opportunity to fight. Even if you're half HP, there usually are really good opportunities in fights to turn it around on people because they don't have cooldowns.
All those shields disengage as well. Counter Logic Gaming using very well. Every time I saw this Gragas Janna composition come in, you'd think it would be chaos, but teams know to use one or the other, not just bounce people around and get the fight they want out of it. Zanya's now finished up. Elixir of Wrath for Zion Spartan. Looks like they are really ready to keep these fights going. Like you said, they want to keep baiting them into fights. They have the items to show it.
4-2-0 for Zion Spartan. Elixir of Wrath in his inventory. He's going to try to pick up this red buff. As soon as he gets priority in the top lane, as soon as he gets control of it.
A little dangerous. Ooh. It's going to be smited away. It still goes over to Counter Logic Gaming.
Smithy.
Doublet, the poke definitely not equaling the same. Iceborne Gauntlet for Doublet actually as well to keep a lockdown on the members of Team 8.
It's very kitey.
Yeah.
You start a fight, you kite backwards.
Going back on blue.
Trying to do as much damage as possible.
It's been a while since we saw that.
You put the burden of engage on the enemy team. You make them walk through Howling Gale, stuns, Olaf Qs, AoE slows, so you put the burden of engage on teammate.
Yep.
But right here, they're actually going to take it in their own hands.
Zanya's is there. Where's the play? Maybe not be able to use it. Gets it at the end. Can he get the Storm Shield to stay alive? What a shot! Timed by Nien. He flashes out, fires one back over his shoulder. The barrel's going to take down Alistar. Dodo's on the ground. They pick up Porpoise. It's a 3-for-1 as they start flying by the turrets. Zion Spartan doesn't care. He's going to get out of this one. Slowed from the harpoon. That will take him down. As he gets hit by the inhibitor turret, it's a shutdown as well going to Cali Trolls, so he gets a bit stronger in the 2-for-4.
They go so far up that you have all these kiting tools that they become chase down tools with your movement speed increases. Run straight at them, engage backline, like I said, a champion select onto one of these poke champions with Pobelter. Able to get the Zonias off just barely, but he still gets picked up by Nien. That's another dragon, the third dragon going to CLG, where movement speed actually means a lot in this game. So third dragon's big.
Especially synergizing with their items in this game. Like you said, the way they've been building up, synergizing, complementing everything else they have is very nice. You see how this fight went one more time. That TP home guard.
Boom. Hits Nien. Barely gets it off right as he touches the ground. Xmithie, a really good ultimate again. This is why their CLG are first picking the Gragas over and over again to get it to Xmithie, get him on this jungler that he's so comfortable on the second half of the split. You can see Righteous Glory's second item after Sightstone and Jungle item. Or third item, I guess. Yep. Count Sightstone as a full item. It's all about the movement speed. So they have kiting tools, they put the burden of engage on teammate, but they also get their own engage tools. Yeah. So that they can dictate the pace of the game and not have it just be a poke fest. When they want to fight, they get to fight, and here comes a fight!
Bit of a surge in gold. Teammate felt good. They had just taken down mid-turret during that replay and wanted to stay, but they have nothing to stay for. Counterlogic Gaming able to close in here and just cordon off Teammate as they try to escape, pushing Golden Glue and Dodo to one side. No chase there. Maybe actually gets in. The gauntlet goes down. Unbreakable Will coming in for Dodo. Doublet flashes over the wall. Doublet picks up two more. One of those goes over to Afromu as Rush Hour comes up. The teamwork is big.
25 minutes in, and they already have an 8,000 gold advantage over Team 8. CLG looking at the Baron now after killing 4 members. No TP from Cali Trolls. Give it a 26-man for the Baron here.
Giving up a nice juicy dessert wave in the bot, but no worries to them right now as they get the over the wall. Oh, Porpoise did not want that. Oh! Got him. Hooked it over. Very nice shot there, predicting the speed of the tunnel.
That actually makes me very happy because as a jungler, just go deal with the other jungler. Make sure he can't smite steal this. just stop him, please.
It makes you happy not being the jungler.
Yeah.
See, there's a difference.
Yeah. When they stop me, I'm a little mad. Xmithie, though, he actually
a little overstay.
Yeah, he actually still hits Dodo with the stun, and then he knocks Nien into the team, but Nien has to walk out. Now Cali Trolls is collapsed on, and then they just rush at Nien.
Look how good the fight start looks, though. And then they're all like, wait, we used everything.
Yeah, and the positioning that Xmithie put Nien in cost Nien's life. So it ended up being a really good Gragas ultimate and gave the Righteous Glory purchase, and then double lift. 2v1ing, but he's going to get some help.
That's one of your break your
2v1ing. Speaking of 2v1.
What?
Again.
So that's Zion running through. You can see the Elixir of Wrath still on him, helping him be a beast. That's going to be extended on kills and assists, so that's just going to keep going for him. Another extension on the kill assist. It's going to be a kill. And Zion Spartan's Elixir of Wrath is definitely raining down terror on the rest of the teams. Double lift hitting all the skill shots that he needs. Cali Trolls in the eyes of the team. Surfed up. A triple kill overall for Zion Spartan. And he is just coming up huge right now. 10, 3, and 2. The Olaf pick comes through again. He didn't even really get any bans focused towards him. Teammate thought they could just keep him down.
And CLG, they've never finished higher than 3rd place in the regular split. They're about to put themselves in a position where they play tiebreaker for 1st place at the end of the day.
It's going to be big. A lot happened at the end of the split to pit 4 teams against each other at 1st place. One of the tightest races we've ever had. And Counterlogic Gaming is going to put their foot down and be the first team to move up and be in that tiebreaker right now. They are taking down Team 8. Possibly. Looks like we're going to have to back off here. Smithy got very, very low. The Zanyas goes out. Is it the finalizing kill? They were waiting for the opening. Nien very low. No home guards on him. It looks like the Nexus is open. Belter comes in, but it's just going to be a regular card dealt out to Porpoise, and that is finally the Nexus. It took them to re-engage once again, Zyrene, to get back in and win the fight. Counter Logic Gaming take down Team 8.
28 minutes. Super fast today.
Yeah.
Both of these games, we're gonna be hitting tiebreakers by the time.
They know they got games to play later.
Yeah.
They're not messing around.
CLG's like, you know what, teammate, you guys are chill, but you know what, we have first place to fight over.
Yeah.
So tiebreakers later today for CLG, fighting for first place and that first round bye, as well as a ticket to Madison Square Garden.
13 and 5 for Chronologic Gaming. 6 and 12 is what Team 8 moves to right now.
And this means that Cloud9, if they beat TSM,
who are 5 and 12,
yeah, Team 8 has to play tiebreaker versus Cloud9
yep,
to not be in relegation.
What a crazy way for the split to start to come to a close. Chronologic Gaming near the top, Gravity, Tip, Team Liquid, all those teams tied for first here. And like you said, if Cloud9 takes that matchup, we'll be playing later today against Team Solo Mid. That could tie it for Team A. So many implications for every one of these games. And CLG comes up big there. The use has to be recognized now by other teams with Zion Spartan in the top lane. What they're doing with him, he'll for sure start to receive some bans.
Well,
I don't know how many though.
How many can you throw at that guy?
Because you still got pole belter, you still have double lift, you want to put some bans on, maybe for an AD carry. It's gonna be tough.
Yep.
Really
and then
tough to play against these guys right now.
If you're on red side, you might have to ban Ryze as well. So being able to ban Ryze, Fizz, and all these different champions, Olaf, he showed that he's got skills on that Kennen. He's a big tool that they weren't using during that slump. They were putting him on these tanks. They put him on Rumble a bit, but it just didn't seem to be the type of champion he likes. Zion seems to be a likes champions. Seems to be a guy who likes champions. Words are hard.
Sometimes.
Seems to be a guy who likes champions that get into the thick of a fight, and he becomes very vocal when he's in the thick of those fights too. And he's able to deal damage and actually focus somebody and keep one of their damage dealers down.
I feel like, I forgot what champion select was it. It was when he started playing Fizz. No, back. When we were like, why aren't they actually letting Zion Spartan just carry from the top lane? By no means was it us, but it's just like, glad it started happening.
Yeah, I remember being on the desk and being like, why did you change your formula? It was working so well.
Well, it looks like they did a little concoction and got it back.
They stopped outplaying themselves, and they went back to a formula that works, so they're back at a centered place, and they're able to go from there, and they're looking at a first place.
Don't beat yourself up. The wins will come. Now, for a deeper dive into that game, let's send it over to our guys on the analyst desk.
Thanks, Riv. And with that win, it was mentioned, CLG now guarantees themselves a tiebreaker and a chance at first place, and also a finish no less than third place here in the regular season for the NA LCS. But also, as mentioned, Team 8 now has to worry about the C9 victory that will force a tiebreaker for that 7th place slot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange situation they're in right now, right? Because it felt like a very crushing defeat, and there's a chance they're going to have to pick themselves up. They'll know very soon, at least, whether or not they have to play in that tiebreaker, because they looked very, very out of sorts against CLG. They're starting from the very beginning.
Right, I was going to say that all that started at level 1 before minions spawn when Zion picks up that early first blood there on Olaf. And I just want to talk about this Olaf pick a little bit, because we've seen Zion bring back in the Kennen and now the Olaf, 2 champions that are not being played by any other top laner in the NA LCS. This is, just an added strategy here for CLG going up against anybody.
Yeah, I mean, and it's worked out really well for them. As he was just talking about, Zion likes to be one of those champions that can dive the back line. He's tweeting out, it's his spirit animal is Olaf. It just really does funnel into his strengths as a carry top laner. So happy to see him back on it. And CLG, they're diversifying right before playoffs as well. So things look really good for them grabbing one of those buys.
Yeah, the one thing I have to mention for CLG, especially as we're going towards tiebreakers, is we started this split, right? They begin, let's see, that 7-1. And we're thinking Golden Age has returned, right? And then they played Team Liquid, TSM, Gravity, and Impulse all in a row. Lost all 4 of those games. Those are the teams they could potentially have tiebreakers against. The only win against any of those teams they've had all year was their 1 win against Team Liquid. They've crushed the rest of the competition, but the guys that they're going to be playing the tiebreakers against, I don't necessarily know if CLG was beating themselves during those games. It seems like they were getting beaten by superior competition. And we'll see if this now winning streak, because they put together 2 basic winning streaks. One at the start of the split, then they had the really hard competition all piled in the middle, and now they're on a winning streak once again.
All right, so given that, we look at the people on CLG that are going to have to be, you know, the people that pull them through these victories against the top teams. Looking at Doublelift, very solid performance today on Blue Ezreal, and all around has had a very solid performance this split statistically.
Yep, most kills in the North American LCS right now. He's 6 ahead of Bjergsen, so we'll have to track that in the next game for the kill leader for the split.
Yeah.
They've been a very successful
The thing
split
I look most at when looking at CLG games are the stages in the game. And they get such a good early lead by manipulating the lane swaps like this and getting Zion ahead. And that's why, oh, this Olaf is so scary because he's ahead and he can dive my back line. Olaf, not scary at all if he doesn't get that early lead. And against the top teams, the reason that they struggle is because they aren't able to get as big of a lead as they are against the bottom teams. That's why they've been crushing all of the lower rated teams because they get such an enormous advantage out of the lane swap. When they don't get that, then they really struggle. The mid-game team fights, the shot calling in the mid-game, that's where it gets a little rocky.
All right, so we continue to give them praise for their early game. We'll see if they can continue that trend against the people who are a little bit more organized. Back over to Teammate really quick and prepared for it, exactly. Back over to Teammate, if they do have to play a little bit later, what are the things they shore up here, you know, coming off of this game? You said they have to bounce back, but in what ways can they most assure a victory against Cloud9 if they have to play?
Find some way of protecting Calitrolls, right? Obviously, he has to protect himself. He cannot be dying at level 1.
Don't pick a fight with Olaf.
Yeah, don't pick a fight with Olaf, step 1. But secondly, I think Golden Glue's actually been performing quite well. Try and build around him, actually. And even though Calitrolls, when he started the LCS, we were saying put him on carries, put him on a tank, a more supportive role, and just try and use your 2 carry threats from mid and bottom.
They had some of their greatest successes when they still had Slushy here, and they had Slushy on champions where he could affect the team fights, like Orianna. He had some of his best games on Orianna, and then LeBlanc as well. That's no longer a very good option, but you get the idea. Yeah, don't do that, but you get the idea.
All right, well, both of those teams have a chance to play later. CLG for sure. Coming up next, though, Cloud9 will look to end the split as they started it with a win over TSM. Stay with us.
He's gonna keep going.
Oh, sweet.
He's gonna keep going.
Sassy Molassie.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Nice.
Dodges out. Zion Spartan Hexdrinker comes up. He throws on the Ragnarok. He starts going crazy. Golden Glue is able to cap off Pobelter. What a shot. Timed by Nien. He flashes out, fires one back over his shoulder. The barrel's going to take down Alistar. Unbreakable Will coming in for Dodo. Doublelift flashes over the wall. Doublelift picks up 2 more. Counter Logic Gaming take down Team 8.